What's going on? This is Marcus, the Debt Free Dad, live Free Game Friday. So we just gonna talk about some things that's going on, a few topics. Black Friday. We're gonna talk a little bit about self care and making sure you enjoy the experience. And we're also gonna talk about a little story about a time I made a faux pas, if you will, and let a certain utility get cut off. And this is definitely the worst utility to get cut off. You don't want to have this utility cut off. It was actually hilarious. But before we get started, hey, I'm an attorney. I'm a licensed attorney. But most importantly, I'm not y'all attorney. So no legal advice, no financial advice, just giving my opinion and letting y'all know what's going on in the household of the Debt Free Dad. And so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, before we get started, too, actually, y'all need to check out this channel. The channel name is TXC Tells All. As my homegirl Tracy and Larita, they're both attorneys. Is an interesting story, actually. I would like to have some questions for them. But they met in law school. They took different legal paths career-wise, but they started a business that invests in real estate and other financial ventures. And we actually did a collaboration. It was a battle of the sexes, if you will. It was, hey, which is the best attorney, or who makes the best attorney, men or women? So, ladies, if y'all go over there and check out that channel, know that I'm not a misogynist or anything. So don't let any of my views or opinions on that video shape your outlook of the debt-free dad. I'm just joking. But it was a good video. It was Tracy, Larita, and a gentleman by the name of Jock, all attorneys. It was a good discussion and quite comical. Y'all check it out when you get a chance. TXC Tells All, great channel. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is, God has a sense of humor. So I wake up this morning, and the day after Thanksgiving, we already know what it is. The day after Thanksgiving, you hyped, you want to go get a plate. So I go downstairs with ill intentions. I'm going to make a big ass plate and I'm going to tear all of this food up. I go down there, I get the food out of the refrigerator. And I mean, it's still in the foil and everything. And I turn around to set it on the stove. And I look above the stove where the microwave is and there's no lights on. So I open the refrigerator, I hit the button, it's nothing. Literally, the power went out as I was getting ready to make my plate. So the power was out for something crazy too, like 2 or 3 hours. So while everybody else had the luxury and benefit of enjoying leftovers and good macaroni and cheese, I couldn't warm anything up. So I had to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Power was out for 3 hours. It was like a windstorm or something that was going on. So, the neighbors came out. They thought it was hilarious because apparently they got up before me and ate their leftovers. But yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is my favorite cereal. But in compared to that first day of leftovers, on Thanksgiving, Cinnamon Toast Crunch ain't shit. So that's kind of how that went. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is, treating yourself to the experience. And so I guess the best way to talk about this is sometimes you gotta cough up a little bit extra, save to stack up a little bit extra, so that you can enjoy enjoy the finer things in life or a better experience. So on this channel, if I talk about finances and getting out of debt and saving, just because you're frugal and smart with your money doesn't mean you can't enjoy nice things. And so, I'm not one of those guys who are like, okay, well, you got to pay all these debts off, so don't ever buy anything for the next 6 years and just dress like a bum and look crazy. Nah, we're not going to do that. That'll be insane. That's crazy. And so essentially what I mean by paying a little bit extra, maybe about 2015 or 16, at one point I had a season pass to check out Washington Wizards game. Right now, you could buy a package, and so what I did was I bought a package. It wasn't a big package; it was for like 10 games. But I wanted to see all of the nice teams. I'm trying to think. Was it 2015? It was whenever Kobe's last year was, and when the Golden State Warriors won all those games and lost in the finals. So I had this 10-game package, and I wanted to see all the best teams. So I was like, oh, I want to see Golden State. I want to see I want to see, with whoever was the best team. I want to see Kobe on his farewell tour. I want to see LeBron in Miami. So I had 10 games, 10-game package to see all the best teams. And, I thought it was great, but the problem with that was those bums lost every game that I went to go see. So I had that 10-game package for one time. I ended up getting rid of it after a couple years because I was like, man, I'm tired of going to these games and these dudes choking and losing all the time. Hey, what's going on? I see you, Asian American Legal Focus. I actually just watched your video that you put up about when to fire an attorney, and all of those were very valid reasons when you should fire your attorney. Um, I think I don't know. I think the worst is probably an attorney who can't remember like pertinent details about your case. That would drive me batshit crazy. So yeah, but all of them were valid reasons. It was funny because as I watched your video, the one thing I thought about was, it's funny. I asked investigators I work with and other people, internal, external partners, and I was like, hey, what's the one thing that makes an attorney a good attorney? And it kind of goes to that first point where you talked about how attorneys have a lack of communication. It was like communication and availability. You can have the skill set of a C attorney, but if you're available and you have good communication, people will be really impressed with your work because you're there to address their concerns. So that was a really great video and a take that you gave. So I definitely appreciate that. Oh man, I need to go ahead and check her video. I know I laughed though because you were like in that video. Hey, as always, you cited to your source, so you did give her the props in there. But it was funny because you was like, "Oh, she's selling her course or something like that," and that was like the bulk of the video. So that's always a contentious point. I'm like, "Oh man, I want to put this content out, but I don't want to make my. I want to put this content out, and I want to help people, but." I feel like sometimes YouTubers can go down this rabbit hole of just promoting everything and promoting everything and promoting things to a point where you're like, damn, I'm watching the video and you ain't even talking about nothing. You're just trying to get me signed up for this app. And so I definitely don't want to go down to that particular rabbit hole and be one of those YouTubers. That'll just be annoying. And so, anyway, like I was saying, sometimes you got to enjoy the finer things. I had this 10-game package to go to these Wizards games. I was wanted to go see all the best teams. They lost every game. And after a couple years, I got rid of it. And maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, I took the kids to go see wrestling because that's one of the things I got back into during the pandemic. Wrestling is like male soap opera. So, I didn't want to sit down on the floor where there was so many people at, COVID and people wearing masks. Some people don't want to wear masks. So I was actually able to get a good deal on tickets in the Skybox. And oh man, sitting in the Skybox was the most amazing thing ever. Essentially, how the Skybox is set up is it's your own private suite. It's only 12 seats in there, 6 rows. Then behind it is another 6 rows. Then behind that second row is a bar and some stools. You got your own kitchen, restroom. You don't have to be around anyone but the party that you're with. And so I say that to say that a lot of times we want to do things like me getting that 10-game package and wanting to see all those games, and I'm sitting in the nosebleed $20 seats. I really didn't care about seeing those other teams. Now I realize the most important thing is the experience and being comfortable. So I was actually looking at Wizard tickets, and I don't want to go see them play the Lakers. I don't want to go see them play nobody who they might have a chance of losing to. I want to go see them play the worst team in the league so I can get great tickets in the Skybox that are cheap because hey, if I go there, they win a game and I'm comfortable, I feel like that's a win-win. So that was kind of the take on it. Sometimes you gotta, if you're going on a trip every now and then or one time, you need to, stack up a little bit extra and get bumped up to business class because it'll really change your outlook on things. And once you do that, trust me, once you say, you know what, I'm gonna go out for a little bit extra frills because I saved for it, I deserve it. Once you go to like a business class seat, you're never going to want to sit in a non-business class seat again. I literally just told my wife, I was like, we go on vacation. We should sit in business class. The kids old enough to sit back there by themselves. She said that was wrong. I thought that was right. This was my plan. I was going to have our seats, the last seats in the business class, and their seats would be the first seats, non-business class, but were directly behind us. I said that way, if they get on my nerves, I can let the stewardess know that those people bothering me, and we can close the curtain on them. But she didn't think that was a good idea, so it probably won't happen. All right, next up, let's talk a little bit about Black Friday. So I don't know who, if y'all went Black Friday shopping and that. I don't even like the name Black Friday. That's a whole historical thing, but I don't know if y'all went shopping or not. I did buy some things. I bought them online. I already knew what I wanted. I already kind of had the budget set up, so I just took care of the few gifts that I were getting people. I went ahead and got them. But I think people still go crazy. I actually just saw an article the other day. It was like it was a ransack in some mall somewhere down south, and I was like, I thought those days were over, but apparently they aren't. The other thing is like how many how many inches do your TV have to be, or like how clear do your picture have to be? I mean, there's people who buy new TVs every 2 years on Black Friday. Like to me, I think that's just kind of insane and crazy. Like I don't know, I can't barely see now. I wear glasses. I'm a little blind, so a picture is a picture is a picture. But if you did get something on Black Friday, let me know in the comments. Was it something that was budgeted for? Was it something that you just caught on a good deal and you just like, whatever, I'm gonna go ahead and get it? Let me know what it was, how that no whole thing played out with regard to Black Friday. I'm just not a fan of it. The one time I went out to an actual Black Friday, it was many moons ago, and I was overseas in Germany. And I went out and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this stereo. It was a surround sound system that had like 7 to 8 speakers. And soon as the gate rose up to about right here, it was people dive rolling and doing combat rolls underneath. And you gotta think a 7 speaker stereo system is like 4 or 5 different boxes. It was like a 98-year-old lady who was just hugging like 5 boxes and was like, these mines. And it was like some African guy, and he had on a tan leather jacket, and he had like shopping cart tracks on the back, and his hand was bleeding. And I was like, man, what the fuck happened to you? He was like, somebody, he fell and somebody ran over him with the shopping cart trying to get to the stereo systems. It was crazy. That being said, I did get mine. I was stiff arming old ladies and everything, but I was young. I got my stereo system, but I'm not dealing with that nonsense. So if y'all went out there during Black Friday, y'all let me know what y'all got, if y'all budgeted for it or not. Let me go over and check this comment. Hey, hey, what's going on, Gab? Hey, congratulations on 4K too. I saw that. That was big. Oh yeah, that's where it was. It was in South Point. Yeah, 3 people shot, including a 10-year-old at South Point Mall in Durham, North Carolina. That I thought that was crazy too, because and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't been down to the Bull City in a while. But my understanding was South Point, when I was there, South Point was like the affluent kind of bougie. It was like the affluent kind of bougie mall that you would go to feel safe. I can't remember what the I can't remember what the other mall, Northgate. I think it was Northgate was the mall where you go to and some drama might happen. But my understanding was that South Point was supposed to be like the affluent mall. That's why it shocked me when I saw that whole like 3 people shot, including a 10-year-old in the mall. It was crazy. They ended up having to evacuate the whole mall, and that wasn't. I'm not going to attribute that one to crazy people who participate in Black Friday activities. I think from my reading, it looked like it was just 2 people who knew each other, probably had some beef or some static. That's what people my age call it. They had some beef or static, and they tried to handle it there. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. That it goes back to my point. With Black Friday out, it's just too many people to be out for me personally. I got a little PTSD from the military, so I'm not really fond of large crowds like that anyway. Like, even if I go, like, if I would go to the county fair, we would go mad early, because once it starts getting crowded, like, my wife and family already know I'm gonna be a little bit on edge, because I just don't like being around large crowds. A bunch of people walking behind me, and I don't know what's going on if something happened. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what I thought. South Point was kind of the nice mall. Northgate was where you go when you had a cash strap. But yeah, that's crazy. Anything can happen anywhere, and a lot of times you'd be shocked though. Like during Black Friday and when crimes occur, like property crimes, robbery crimes, they don't occur in the mall that's in the urban areas. They occur in the malls that got the Nordstroms and the Gucci store in it because they assume that people going to that mall got a lot of money. That's why, hey, I don't know if y'all in North Carolina. I know you in North Carolina. If you in North Carolina, I think, well, if it were me, it would behoove anyone who lives in a place where they can have a firearm legally to have one. But that's just my thought. I'll digress. That's another topic for another day. But crazy criminals gonna have them, so I figure I might as well have one too. That's kind of my point of view. Now let's go ahead and talk about. I'm gonna tell y'all a story about a time where I let one of my utilities get cut off. I didn't let it get cut off. I guess it was more of a mistake or I forgot. But it just kind of goes to show that sometimes we have some weird ideologies or beliefs about money, and I didn't think of it until I was at my father's house and helping him with a project. But many moons ago, when I was a real young man in my 20s, I had my first house, and I was, hey, I don't even think I had a job at that time. I just kind of had money stashed up from when I got out the military, and I was getting like my GI Bill. I might have been working a part-time job or something at that time. But if any event, what ultimately happened was I had this belief where I never like giving anybody, excuse me, or any entity access to my account. So I'm not a fan of automatic payments. Typically, if I can avoid an automatic payment, I'm going to avoid an automatic payment. And so, I never had all my utilities. I just kind of paid them as they went. Now, think about it. At this time, I didn't have a lot of money. So, when you don't have a lot of money, you got to kind of juggle things. Like you get the first notice. I don't know if y'all been here, y'all know what I'm talking about. You get the first notice, you get the second notice. And when you get the second notice, you're like, all right, I'm good. As long as they ain't send me a third notice, I got a couple of more weeks. So you kind of, that's the old saying, you rob Peter to pay Paul. You kind of moving things around. And so the first thing or the first utility that you're probably not going to pay is something like a phone bill or something like that. Or some people may let their car insurance lapse. I typically avoid that. If I couldn't pay a bill, it would normally be the phone bill. So I'm juggling around trying to make all these payments. And it happened a couple of times where I forgot to pay some bills just because I actually had to go in, take the money out, send the check off to the place to pay it. And because I didn't want anybody having auto draft in my account, I would do it on my own. Now, in these events where I forgot to pay a bill, it ended up being no harm, no foul, because ultimately, damn, I forgot to pay this bill, but nothing got cut off, so I could go ahead and pay it. So one day, I don't know if I was at school, I was somewhere, and my wife was in the house, because I think she might have been a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I maybe was in my first year of law school. And I knew I was supposed to pay these bills, but guess what bill that I forgot to pay or that I didn't pay? Y'all would never guess. What's the worst bill that you have that you definitely don't want to forget to pay? I'm gonna let y'all marinate on that, and y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think it is. Man, I forgot to pay the water bill. Can you believe it? I forgot to pay the water bill. Now, again, like I said, I forgot to pay bills in the past, so it wasn't a big deal. You're just a couple days late, a week late. Most times, yeah, credit cards is bad too because you interest. But I wouldn't even mind not paying. That's a fair one. But electric is terrible too. I would rather let the water bill lapse than let the electric bill not pay electric bill. Yeah, that's true. In the full scheme of things, the credit card bill is the worst because I guess mathematically you're at a loss. So that is a great point that you made. That's a great point that you made. And electricity would be bad too. I'm thinking like, yeah, I don't think I ever, even growing up, I don't think I ever not had electricity. That would be kind of jacked up. But yeah, I forgot to pay the water bill. That was the worst bill to actually not pay. And I'm not thinking anything of it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I pay it when I get home. No big deal. But when I got home and my wife told me the story how it happened. Now I did get it cut back on, but they came out something like the next morning to cut it back on. And the way it was set up, I couldn't go out there and cut it back on the illegal side of the game like I know how to do. And so she said, "Yeah, I came out. I tried to turn the water off or something. It didn't cut on. And when I went outside and looked, I saw the guy out there working on the pipes. And she said, 'Excuse me, my water off. How long y'all gonna be working on the pipe so y'all can cut my water back on? And she said the guy looked at it and was like, we gonna cut your water back on when you pay the bill. I know that's not funny, but her face was tight. I could tell she was hot, man. But we did get it cut back on right away, and that was my fault for letting this lapse. But I mean that joke, it was crazy. And so that's an interesting thing because I don't think I ever had the electric turned off. I can remember like gas being turned off, and that's them old sayings that my mother, the missionary, well, former missionary, she a minister now, but that's one of them old sayings that my mother used to have. The Lord will make a way, because I can remember growing up and like the furnace would break or something, and the only heat in the house, man, we turn that oven on 400 and open that joker up, and the whole damn house was warm, and it wasn't no huge house, but it wasn't a small house. So yeah, don't get like me and have this fear of having companies and entities have direct access to your account. I just never liked it. It was funny. It was funny because the reason I thought of this story is because I was at my father's house a couple of months ago, and he's redoing a redesigning his bathroom. He's 72 and just can't sit down. He redesigned his bathroom, and we in there working on the pipes. And he was like, "Oh man," he's like, "I think I must have busted a pipe under the house because the water not coming out." So I go down there and check it, and I was like, "Nah, man, the pipes is cool." And sure enough, what did he do? He didn't pay his water bill. He didn't pay his water bill, not because he didn't have it, but because, but at least he got an excuse. He's 72. He just has a thing about paying over the internet and over the phone. He want to hand it to, he told me if I don't hand it to somebody, if it mess up, who I'm gonna cuss out. So that was kind of his logic. But yeah, you can get it's hard when you're underemployed or don't have enough to kind of make ends meet. So if you're in that situation, credit cards is probably the worst thing to not pay because of the interest. But credit cards aren't one of those things that are essential to your survival. If it's electricity or credit card, I'm not paying the credit card. I mean, I just figure out the credit card. And in some instances, I actually had a credit card. It's crazy. All the credit cards I have and all the debt I had on those credit cards, I literally have no clue, or I can't tell you what I bought with the money. I had a credit card that had like a $5,000 or $6,000 balance. I have no clue what I bought, and you would think I would have used that to buy something productive. I probably bought something stupid, and I just said, "Oh, I'm not paying that thing. It'll go away after 7 years." And it got to a point where eventually they just was like, "You know what? We're not even gonna worry about this $5,000. You good? Don't even worry about paying this back." And so I was like, "Sweet, I got it free. I got $5,000 free at the end of the year." Though Uncle Sam came and I had to pay taxes on that $5,000 credit card bill that they forgave that I never paid back. So that's kind of how that game works. That's crazy. I know. I mean, if I talk about total credit card debt, just on credit cards, not talking cars, I would say maybe at one point I had somewhere between 15 to $20,000, and I literally have no clue what the hell I spent it on. It probably was something stupid like, I don't know. What the hell was it? Man, you know what it probably was now that I'm thinking about it? Now that I think about it, I don't think at that point it was something stupid like shoes or nothing like that. Because I was a little bit older. I was young, a young man, but I had a family. So what I probably was using it for was to pay that water bill that I forgot to pay. That's probably why I don't see anything or can't remember what it was, because I probably was actually using it to pay utilities and other stuff I couldn't afford. What's going on, Brett? I know. I just see you got all these new saving challenges going on and everything. Everybody, hey, everybody's channel growing. Hey, respect to all y'all. That's one thing I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for everybody who watches any content that I make. I don't care if it's me rapping on TikTok or if it's me on Instagram posting a Mike Tyson quote or watching a video on YouTube. Hey, I really appreciate y'all for just taking the time out, watching, interacting, and I make sure I try to go back and show the love, especially for everybody who's content creators, because I already know the grind. I know how the hustle is. Yeah, you got to be ready. That's true. I don't know, man. I saw one of them saving challenges though, and I think it was something like the rapping was pretty entertaining. Yeah, I thought I did fairly decent. I don't think, hey, it is hard. It's hard to make a rap about a subject and make it make sense when you only have about a minute. If I would have had 5 minutes, it would have been real easy to do because I got time to think about what I was going to say. But being that it was only short and I only had like 59 seconds to do it, it made it a little bit more difficult. But that's going to be a new shirt. That's going to be a new shirt for me. Ever since I spit that rap, I'm gonna have a new shirt. Instead of Run DMC, it's gonna be Run DFD. Run every day. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that from you. Yeah, I got that from a lot of people left comments like that. I was like, I'm gonna make a Run DFD shirt. Yeah, I'm gonna let my hair grow out like a dress. I'm gonna look like a real rapper. Y'all gonna be like, man, who is this dude with these gray dreads? Oh man, that's hilarious. But yeah, that's kind of what I have going on. The rest of the weekend is going to be interesting. Sunday, I'm gonna give y'all a little heads up. I'm gonna drop a video Sunday, and it's going to be about knowing how much does your hobbies cost. A lot of times we have hobbies, whether it's riding a motorcycle or what's good, what's good. Thanks for tuning in, homie. A lot of times we have hobbies about things we like to do, things we want to do, but we just do them. I don't know. I used to be like that. We just do them, but we don't, we never know what it's allocated for. So me and my son gonna do one of my favorite hobbies. We're gonna hit up the range this weekend. I'm gonna take him to the range, and I'm gonna just kind of break it down. I'm gonna show some footage. Hey, it ain't gonna be no commercials on that videos because YouTube don't like gun content. Woo. But I'm gonna show a little footage of us at the range and break down, what my hobbies cost me per month to do some of the things that I like to do. More money, more problems. That's cool. Yeah, that's a good idea for a rap. What I'm think I'm gonna do though, what I actually think I'm gonna do is once a month, I think I'm gonna do a rap that's finance related. Is actually I actually met another brother on TikTok, and I was like, damn, I thought I was creative with Free Game Friday, and I came across this TikTok probably because we got similar content, and it's called, damn, I hope I don't mess it up. I think it's called Stocks and Bars or something like that. And he does little freestyles and everything. And but he talks about investing and stuff. So I told him, I was like, hey man, we got to do a collab. I'm talking about a collab rap about finances. But I think that's gonna be the game plan once a month. Because it's like I said, it's hard to come up with a rap about something in 50 seconds that makes sense. So I'm gonna try to do it once a month. So hey, if y'all got a beat out there, Britt, you from New York. I know you're a producer. I know you got some fire beats you could use. So slide me a beat through via email, something that's fire with some bass in it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and spit some finance bars to it. I'm gonna sit down and come up with something and spit some finance bars. It don't take long. It normally take me about maybe 15 or 20 minutes to do that. In a previous life, I used to be kind of a nice MC and I used to do open mic nights. And at one point I came in second place for comedy stand up. Yeah, I used to do some interesting stuff. I'm actually do a stand up one day and put some of the footage on here. But my jokes is dirty. They not about finance. I'm giving y'all a heads up right now. Yeah, you missed it. I already told the story. You missed the story about me when I forgot to pay the water bill and they cut my water off. And the guy got smart with my wife. I don't know what the minute mark is, but you gotta go back and check it out. But yeah, it was just a faux pas on my part. But yeah, she was hot. Oh, stand up would be cool. I mean, it's all I think stand up. I don't know. It's I kind of equate doing stand up or anything. I don't know if y'all could tell, but I like speaking in front of people. I like speaking in front of a microphone. I don't know. It's like a rush for me. Y'all probably can't tell, but yeah, I think with stand up, the biggest thing or anything that you're doing, and you're an attorney, you gotta have you gotta have that confidence. You know what I mean? You gotta have that confidence. Um, Damn, I'm trying to think. I got a joke, but I don't got no joke that's appropriate for this channel and this venue. I might have to do the joke on TikTok. I might have to do the joke on TikTok. Yeah, my jokes are raunchy, man. I'm on some Richard Pryor, Martin Lawrence stuff. So yeah, I ain't got no good like Steve Harvey jokes that's family friendly. Nah, all my jokes coming on HBO after midnight. Yeah, but yeah, I seen There's actually a group. They interesting. It's called Comedians at Law. I don't know if you ever seen them, but check it out. If you Google it, it's three guys. It's three guys who were attorneys, and they all hated their jobs, and so they stacked up their paper. They literally stacked up their paper, paid off their debts and everything, and they started a comedy tour, like a comedy group trio, and they call themselves Comedians at Law. Some of the jokes I would probably give them about a 7.5 out of 10. I'm not really a wholesome comedy type of guy, but this stuff was pretty good. It was pretty interesting. But I don't think I'm gonna do no comedians at law right now. I may not ever reach my fire goals if I do comedian comedy work right now. So maybe once I hang it up, that'll be my part time job after I retire. I'll be an old ass attorney who's a comedian. All right, y'all have a good one. I'm about to get out of here. Hey, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Y'all, hey, have a great, blessed weekend. I'll speak with y'all soon. Be blessed. Peace.